Hey, how you doing? Justin back with you for another transcribing chords video. We did do a chords video a few modules ago. Hopefully since then you've done a bit more work on transcribing songs with power chords, a little bit more work on transcribing riffs. In this lesson, I want to go through with you and talk a bit about something that I found really challenging when I was learning songs on my own, and that is, how do you tell when they're using a capo and when they're not? I found that incredibly frustrating. To be honest, there's not a super easy answer. I'm going to give you a few hints, but there's sometimes people who incorporate bar chords in a way that you think it might be a capo. Some of it is going to be trial and error because you start to hear the one chord progression can be played in multiple different ways when you get into capo land. So that can be a little baffling. But the trick, the secret for it, is learning to hear the difference in the shapes, the different chord shapes and how they sound. For example, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas here. So let's say that the chord was actually an F chord, but you suspect there's a capo going on. I'll talk a little bit more about how you suspect capo use in a second. But if we had like this E shape here, it's a pretty kind of a full sound because we're strumming all the strings. And the bass note and the top note are the same. Okay, that's a big indicator that you want to learn to listen for, is the top note that you hear, what it sounds like relative to the bass note, because if you haven't already, you're probably going to find yourself looking for bass notes, and that kind of gives away the chord a little bit. So once you start listening to the bass note and the top note, it can help tell you what the grip is. So it's an F chord using an E shape capo 1. If I move the capo up to the 3rd fret and play a D shape, still an F, but can you hear how different it sounds compared with this? This is like really big, bold sound. This one, a lot smaller, and the difference between the bass note and the top note is a lot smaller. There's less notes going on. They might add the 5th string. Sounds a little bit fuller, but the true chord is hell of a lot smaller. So sometimes listening out for the bass note and the top note of the chord, or how many strings sound like they're being played, can be a good indicator. If we move it up again to the 5th fret and I play another F chord, now we're using a C shape. Now this one's got the same bass note and the same top note, albeit on a different string. The actual interval distance is the same. The clue for this one is often hearing this, those kind of licks. You can tell, oh, it's a C chord straight away, especially that sound, because that sound you can't get on the D shape. Also, actually on the D shape, the other thing I should mention is the sus chords. So it's really, really common again to use the D sus. So when you start to hear, oh, there's these certain embellishments that tend to sit really well with certain grips, you can start to hear it again. So already we've got E shape. Okay, really, really big sound. D shape, a lot smaller, that's likely to have this little sus things going on. We got C shape with the little sound that happens. Next up we'd have the A shape. Now, we often don't hear that top note, actually. It sounds a little bit out of tune this far up. Usually you would always put the capo and then tune your guitar, so just randomly moving it around like this is going to make things a little sketchily out of tune, but we'll just have to deal with that. So, again, this is less common, especially if it's right up the neck. If you're starting to go, oh, it's an A chord up here, it's possible, but it's very, very unlikely. You hear the sound of it, though. And then the last one, which is the G chord, again, it would be very unusual to have a G chord played right up the neck like that. It's all kinds of uncomfortable. Yeah, it's just not really happening. But do listen out for things like the stuck 3/4 chord. So I'm going to just move the capo further a bit down here to the 5th fret. Just this sound of these 2 strings ringing out. When you hear like when you hear these like two high strings that ring out all of the way through something, it's probably going to be based around some sort of G chord, with these third and fourth fingers stuck down that we learned in grade 2. So the challenge when you're learning songs that have got a capo is starting to recognize embellishments that make it obvious. So you've got to be a bit more of a detective. You're going like, oh, I can hear that chord. Oh, there's a little embellishment there. That sounds like that one, that particular embellishment, because you will learn to recognize those pretty quickly, especially if you've been doing them already, the little sus chords. And if you've been doing my Chord Explorer series over on grade 3, part of the reason that whole series exists is for you to learn the particular tricks and embellishments that are associated with each shape. If you've learned those properly, you'll start to recognize them straight away. You'll hear, oh, that's that embellishment, therefore they're playing a C shape. So how do I find the C shape? You right up and go, move your little finger around until you find that root note. Go, okay, well, there's my C shape, so the capo must be on the 5th fret there if I'm doing, and there we go. Right? So I'm going to give you, again, 10 songs that use easy open chords and no bar chords or anything like that. 10 easy songs that use easy open chords and a capo. Right? I want you to listen and see if you can work out where the capo goes for all 10 of those songs. Again, some of them you might have encountered before, or if you've been following along my courses and learned all the songs, you probably know some of these already. Find some that don't. If you've got good suggestions that should go on this list, do let me know in the comments on the website preferably. And if you happen to be over on YouTube, head on over to the website, because there'll be additional songs to these 10 that you might like to sink your teeth into as well. This is a starting point. Okay? First song, Blowin' in the Wind by Bob Dylan. The capo is way up the neck, further than you'd think. That's as much of a hint as I'm going to give you. But it's nice, easy, open chords. A good start of 10. Teardrops on My Guitar by Taylor Swift. Some of you might not be big fans of Taylor Swift. I am. I think she's amazing. And that era of stuff where it's a lot of acoustic guitar, it's very often a similar group of chords and they just move the capo around. Okay? Real common in this kind of country, pop country thing. There's like a certain set of chords. This, well, I'll just tell you, it's like the C, A minor, F, G set of chords. They work real nicely together, and very often it's just capos moving up and down. Not just Taylor, but lots of that style of stuff, right? So always listen out for the C, A minor, F, G thing with the capos. Super, super popular. Another one is staying in with pop, Give Me Love by Ed Sheeran. Now, this one's got relatively simple chords. There's nothing overly complicated, but it's using a few that are kind of less common of the open chord variety. There's quite a few sections in this one, so the chord progression is changing, and there's bits where the way he plays it changes. He's using a lot of palm mute and some other things, so this is slightly on the trickier side. I'm not delivering these to you in order of difficulty, right? So I'm just giving you ones as I've been basically I've just been listening to loads of songs on Spotify and trying to figure out which ones are going to be the easiest ones for you guys and girls to have a go at. Anyway, so Give Me Love, Ed Sheeran, really good song. Moonlight Shadow by Mike Oldfield. Particularly at the beginning there, the acoustic guitar is very, very obvious, so there's a couple of good clues in there for you. So listen out for them, see if you can work out where the capo is for that one. Really nice one. I've got another Ed Sheeran song in there. It's Photograph. Really, really lovely one. There's a nice motif in that song as well. This little do 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 do, which you can fit into the chords as well. There's a nice little additional challenge. Once you've figured out what the chords are and where the capo is, you might want to have a go at doing that. The motif might help you work out where the capo is. There's another little clue for you. Let Her Go by Passenger. Amazing song. The challenge here is to figure out not the fingerstyle pattern, because working out all of those, there's many, many embellishments there, and the way he plays the melody out as he's going along. It's quite a complicated song with fingerstyle. It's a beautiful song. I've got a lesson for it over on the website if you want to dig into it. But the good thing here is that it gives you a lot of the clues with the embellishments. So it'll tell you, if you listen, that you're probably going to be able to work out what some of the chords are, even without touching your guitar, because some of the embellishments are really obvious, or should be. Okay, so give that a listen and see if you can work out some of that. Counting Stars by One Republic. Super duper massive pop song again. Right at the intro, some really nice obvious acoustic guitar. The guitar gets hidden and reappears at different points in the song. So that's a nice one to hear how the guitar gets layered upon, and you can still listen out for it, and you should still be able to hear those chords. Bit of oldie goldie. That's Entertainment by The Jam, some classic Paul Weller. Again, remember what I was talking to you about listening to the clues. There's a big clue there in the first couple of chords that you might hear some notes that stay the same. Where are those notes? And then work out where the capo would go if those notes are where you think they might be. It's probably too many clues already. Pink Bullets by The Shins. Love The Shins. Incredible band. This is a really nice one. There's something weird going on with one of the chords, right, that you might find a little bit difficult. That's okay. I do too, right? So two of the chords are really obvious. One of them is like, you can substitute it for a very easy chord. If you want to go into the detail of that, it becomes a little bit more tricky. It's such a beautiful song. Definitely one worth checking out if you're not familiar with it. And lastly, we're going to check out Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. Now, this one, of course, if you didn't realize already, is using sus chords. It's also got something else about it that's weird. I just thought I'd pop this one in there so you can have a go at trying to work out like one of the most iconic guitar parts of all time. Uses a capo. The chords are relatively simple, but there might be one chord in there that's, it's not difficult or anything. It's just one of the fingers might stay down where you don't think it might, or something, right? Just maybe you've learnt that one already anyway, but there's 10 songs that work really great that use a capo where you can start trying to explore this idea of what the sound of the chords are and starting to learn to recognize the embellishments. Right, all of this stuff that I'm doing over the course of grade 3, if you're not following my course along and you just found this video by accident, it's fine too. You're definitely welcome for it, but you'll find that if you're following along my grade 3 course, which is the kind of what I define as advancing beginner level, where it's still relatively simple, but we're discussing some pretty big ideas here. Learning to hear the different chord shapes, where we recognize the embellishments, why we would choose to use one chord over another when one chord can be played lots of different ways. Okay, all of this is leading us up to bar chords. What's wrong, Ziggy? What's wrong? You want to play some capo songs? Come here. You haven't been on camera for a bit. Hop, come on. There we go. Hello, girl. No, the camera's this way. No, the camera's not behind. Are you just going to sit there now? Go, no, this way. That's it. There we go. This is Ziggy. She's just had a haircut. She's being a bit grumpy today. I'm not sure exactly why. We had a good run this morning with the ball, didn't we? Did we go for a walk this morning? Did we go for a walk? That's how you get her attention. You use the W word. She gets all excited, but I shouldn't do that if we're not going, should I? Eh? Okay, so again, I really appreciate any suggestions. If you've got any songs that you know that use really easy open chords and a capo, let me know in the comments over on the website. I really appreciate it. And I will be adding to this list, of course, in this lesson, so you don't just have these songs that I've suggested to you. There will be hints, and I'll let you know what the capo position is for each of these songs over on the website if you're not there already. But remember, you have to click the tip button in order to get it, and I would encourage you to spend as much time as you can trying to learn the songs without the capo first of all. Right? Really important to try without the capo and see if you can figure them out, and then only use the tips on the website as a kind of a last resort thing. So yeah, I really hope you're enjoying your guitar journey so far, and that these transcribing hints and stuff are working for you. Ziggy really likes it when you learn songs by yourself, don't you? Yeah, you like people who can work out songs by ear. Okay, yeah, have yourself a fantastic day, and I might take this little one for a bit of a walk, and I'll see you for more very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. You going to say goodbye to the people or not? No? No? You're not going to say goodbye? Where's the squirrel? Where's the squirrel? Where's the squirrel?